Before we dive into this shocking expose, make sure to hit subscribe and turn on notifications because what you're about to hear may change everything you thought you knew about Menglong's final days. The night was dim, the Beijing air thick with the kind of unease that whispers before a storm. 2 days before his fatal fall, Menglong sat in a quiet corner of a small cafe on Sanlitun Street, hidden behind dark shades, a hoodie pulled tight, and the kind of silence that says something is wrong. Across from him sat a journalist, one who'd been chasing him for weeks, desperate for an exclusive. What neither of them knew was that this interview would become the last trace of Yu's voice, and that within his words were chilling clues pointing to his unraveling fate. The recording begins softly, the sound of a coffee cup clinking. Yu's voice, calm but distant, carries a heaviness. "People think I'm okay," he said quietly, staring into the distance. "But there's something following me. Not a person. It's a shadow." At the time, the journalist thought he was being poetic. But now, those words ring differently. A shadow? In hindsight, many fans believe he was referring to the growing pressure, or perhaps something darker. Something unseen. He leaned forward, lowering his tone. "I've been trying to fix things.
There are people who don't want that.
They'd rather see me disappear quietly." When this audio surfaced on October 20th, weeks after his death, the internet erupted. The lost interview, once thought deleted, had been found on a corrupted SD card in the possession of the journalist, who reportedly left Beijing days after the incident. The moment it aired on a small underground podcast, it spread like wildfire across social media, reigniting every unanswered question about what really happened to Menglong. According to leaked text messages obtained by online investigators, Yu had been trying to meet someone from his inner circle the night before his fall.
Some say it was a former colleague.
Others whisper it was a woman connected to his secret project, a film that mysteriously halted production just weeks before his death. But in the interview, Yu said something that froze even the most skeptical listeners. "I just want to finish what I started. Even if they erase my name, the truth will still breathe." The journalist recalled how Yu paused after that, his hands trembling slightly, eyes darting toward the cafe window. Someone had walked past, tall, wearing a cap. Yu's demeanor shifted instantly, his voice breaking mid-sentence. He asked to end the interview early, muttering, "They found me." That was the last time anyone outside his circle saw him alive. 2 days later, the tragic news broke. Menglong had fallen from a 9th-floor building in Chaoyang. Authorities called it an accident. His studio confirmed it. But after this interview surfaced, fans and online sleuths began to notice too many coincidences to ignore. The background noise in the audio, faint clicks, muffled voices, and the eerie sound of a second phone vibrating repeatedly led to a chilling theory. Yu wasn't alone during that interview. Forensic analysts claimed a male voice could be faintly heard whispering at the 8-minute mark, saying, "Stop talking now." The journalist initially denied tampering with the recording. But 3 days later, her social media accounts were deactivated, and she hasn't been seen publicly since. The cafe where the interview took place became an unintentional shrine. Fans left flowers, candles, and handwritten notes quoting Yu's words. "Even if they erase my name, the truth will still breathe." Witnesses say one late-night visitor, an unidentified woman in a red coat, left a white envelope with a note reading, "You were never supposed to speak." Police reportedly collected the letter but refused to disclose its contents. Meanwhile, digital investigators traced fragments of the full video recording of the interview that had been uploaded to a private server hours before Yu's death. The metadata indicated it was sent from Yu's personal phone at exactly 2:13 a.m., the same night neighbors claimed to hear 2 people arguing in his hotel suite. When the 12-minute audio was leaked in full, the ending shook listeners to their core. Yu's tone became softer, his words almost like a goodbye. "If you see this, tell them I tried. I really did." And then, silence. The rest of the tape was static. Fans began dissecting every word, linking his statements to previous rumors, the mysterious phone calls, the missing files, and the reappearing messages from his WeChat account days after his death. To some, the lost interview was proof of foul play. To others, It was the heartbreaking monologue of a man struggling under unbearable weight. Weeks later, Yu's mother broke her silence once more. Through trembling lips, she told reporters that she had listened to the recording. "That voice was my son's, but the fear in it wasn't his alone," she said. "Someone was there with him. I could feel it." She begged the public to keep the investigation alive, but her plea was quickly buried under censorship waves and deleted hashtags. Still, the lost interview continues to resurface across private groups, VPN channels, and encrypted fan forums, each claiming to have the full, unedited version. No one knows who first leaked it. Some say it was a close friend. Others insist it was Yu himself, who scheduled the upload before his death. Tonight, the cafe remains quiet. The corner where he sat still draws fans, cameras, and curious souls. The faint hum of his final words lingers like a ghost in the air. "Even if they erase my name, the truth will still breathe." A truth that refuses to die, just like Yu Menglong's story. The storm had not passed. If anything, the release of Yu Menglong's lost interview only deepened the fog that surrounded his final days. Days after the 12-minute clip went viral, something strange happened. An anonymous account posted what it called Part 2, the deleted segment. The clip was barely 5 minutes long, but its contents sent the internet spiraling into disbelief. At first, the video appeared silent, just static and muffled white noise. But when enhanced through audio software, a faint voice emerged. It was unmistakably Yu's. "They told me to smile," he said quietly. "But they never told me how to live with the truth." That line alone reignited the fire. Fans demanded answers. What truth was he talking about? Why was that part removed from the original file? And who had access to this version? A version that, according to metadata experts, had been edited less than 24 hours after his death. The journalist who conducted the interview, now untraceable, had reportedly handed over her files to a media fixer the day after Yu's fall. This fixer, known online only as Mr. Zhao, was later accused of content manipulation in another celebrity case. When contacted by anonymous reporters, he simply replied, "Some truths are not meant to trend." That chilling response sent ripples across the internet. And soon, one theory began to dominate, that Yu Menglong's accidental fall was linked directly to something he said or was about to say during that lost interview. According to a thread posted by an insider under the username @LotusWitness, Yu had been working on a personal documentary exposing creative control, issues, and private disputes within his team. He'd been filming quietly for months, capturing behind-the-scenes footage and voice memos that questioned decisions made by certain producers. In the deleted segment, Yu's voice seemed to hint at betrayal. "I trusted them with everything," he said. "Now they're telling me I can't speak. They say I signed something, but I never signed away my voice." The room went silent. You can hear him pause, breathe shakily, then laugh softly, the kind of hollow laugh that comes from exhaustion. "They think I'll forget," he continued. "But I record everything." That was the line that broke the internet. I record everything. Was he referring to hidden files? Recordings that still existed somewhere, maybe in the cloud or on his phone. Just a week later, reports surfaced that investigators had indeed recovered encrypted files from Yu Menglong's iCloud. Their contents, however, were classified. The police never disclosed what was inside. But leaked screenshots allegedly showed folder names like Truth 1, Final Talk, and 9F. The last one, 9F, left fans trembling. 9F matched the 9th floor of the hotel from which he had fallen. A neighbor in the adjacent room later revealed in a podcast that she heard loud noises that night. 2 male voices arguing, one yelling, "Give it back," and the other saying, "It's too late." Then came a crash. The woman claimed she heard someone sobbing before the sound of glass shattering. But when she tried to alert security, she was told not to get involved. Her testimony was deleted within 24 hours of being posted. Still, determined fans archived every detail. Some began mapping out a full timeline, comparing the interview, his texts, his last Instagram post, a cryptic photo of a sunset captioned, "Sometimes the light burns too fast," and police statements. The patterns were uncanny. The timestamps from the deleted segment aligned almost perfectly with the messages found in his phone's recovery log. At 10:13 p.m., hours before his death, Yu's final text read, "I told the truth once. I'll do it again, even if it kills me." In the continuation of the interview audio, Yu's tone changed, calmer, but eerily resigned. "I'm not afraid anymore," he said. "If something happens, let this be my witness." His words were followed by a faint click, like a phone recording being stopped. The atmosphere in that cafe suddenly feels different when you picture it now. The flickering light bulb, the rain tapping the windows. Yu sitting across the table, his eyes distant but determined. Somewhere outside, a shadow pacing by the glass, watching, waiting. An eyewitness later told online investigators that he remembered seeing two men near that cafe the same evening. One of them was wearing a black hoodie identical to the one Yu wore during his final public appearance. The other was bald, wearing a headset, like a security earpiece, the witness described. But no CCTV footage from that night was ever released. Then came the most shocking discovery yet. On the 5th day after the full recording leaked, a user claiming to be from the same cafe uploaded a photo from that night, a blurry shot showing Yu with someone sitting across from him. The person's face was pixelated by reflection, but the outline of a red scarf could be seen clearly, matching the description of a mysterious woman who had been sighted at both his memorial and at the building he fell from. Fans dubbed her the Red Scarf Woman. Online detectives began connecting her to one of Yu's closest colleagues, a stylist known for accompanying him to every press event. The resemblance was uncanny, and rumors swirled that she might have been the one who arranged that final meeting. Was she protecting him or setting him up? One final line from the extended interview gave everyone chills. Just before the static cut off, Yu's voice whispered something almost inaudible. "Tell them I'm sorry for not keeping quiet." Those words echoed like a confession, not of guilt, but of defiance. By now, the narrative had taken on a life of its own. The lost interview wasn't just an audio file, it was a puzzle, each sentence connecting to another missing piece of Yu Menglong's mysterious fall. Every corner of the internet had become an investigation board, fans turning detectives, journalists turning whistleblowers. The Chinese web was flooded with reuploads, AI reconstructions of his voice, slowed-down versions analyzing every breath, every hesitation. Some claimed they could hear another faint voice overlapping his, saying, "We warned you." Others dismissed it as audio distortion, but the myth had already taken root. And yet, the most haunting part wasn't the interview itself. It was what came after. 3 nights after the deleted segment surfaced, the cafe caught fire. Authorities called it a short circuit, but eyewitnesses reported seeing someone running away moments before the blaze began. When firefighters arrived, they found nothing left except a burnt SD card, half melted, stuck inside an unplugged camera. The footage was unrecoverable. Still, that cafe, that tiny corner of Sanlitun, remains etched in the memory of millions as the place where Yu Menglong's truth began to surface. His words live on, dissected and replayed endlessly by those who refuse to believe his story ended with a fall. Because every time the world tries to move on, a new clue emerges. A new recording leaks. A new voice whispers from the static, and the mystery breathes again. "Even if they erase my name," he once said, "the truth will still breathe." And maybe it still does.